Hi guys, I'm going to do a very quick version of this and we will go through it as a class and discuss it more on Tuesday, but I wanted to get you the information so that you could have it to work with for Tuesday. So real quick, if you haven't already, please download your new assignment sheet. It's in our studio file on Blackboard. It looks like this. I feel like Thomas's overview of assignment 2 was pretty thorough on Thursday, so we won't spend that much time on it. This is our assignment sheet for what's due on Friday. We'll go over it more, but please do have at least 2 minimum diagrams for Tuesday. The more you get, the more you have to work with. It's okay if you think they're bad, just kind of play around with it. We're going to go through the formal analysis really quick and then more on Tuesday, so yeah, just start thinking about it. We expect some things to be good and some to not work, but you never know until you try. Alright, so let's look at the U-House and its form and do some analysis. As we started with, the shape of a square is very prevalent, and you can see the way that the square is one of the units and module that is used throughout. We also see the shape of the circle. I'm not sure if you see my mouse, but you see how the hints of it break through the plan in various spots. So we've got our square and our circle shaped together are the 2 elemental shapes that really are the base of the plan. From there, I created a grid based on where various beginnings and ends are, and you can see there is a lot more of a module in place. The 2 exterior room passageways are one size, and then the hallways are another. I also created lines for the width, so we see that this one is the same width as this one. So yeah, I think I talked about this in the slides, so I'll just go forward. So yeah, we see that the width of each of the hallways on the south side of the building also is matched by the jut out after the square. So when we go back here, we see that where this circle overlaps, actually that's a very similar width to the width of the hallways. So that forms that module. And then, as I was talking about before, the width of the rooms and the mother's rooms is all very uniform. I think it was a little bit off in the way I drew my plans, but it theoretically should be the same. So when diagramming this, we see that width and that module creates a backwards U. And so together, the width of the rooms and the hallway is the width that becomes the U-bend. So those 2 widths become the U-bend that then becomes the open space within the house. And so we look at the U-bend and that width, and we then have the other units that sort of break with that U. So the pink is highlighting the differences in width and shape. And so, as I mentioned a little bit before, we see the U created by the width of the room width, and the U created by the width of the double are reversed. Similarly, if we look at a more programmatic plan, with the placement of the rooms within the house are in the back and they form a U. And the bottom of the house, the courtyard itself could be considered a room. And so whether or not we consider it, I think you could go in between, as it is arguably both an outside space and an interior room space. So if we reverse the room diagram, we see the open, unprogrammed space within the house, and that is the U space itself. The namesake U is in fact open. And one of the things we talked about on Thursday, in the brief time we did, is that the plan of the U-House, if we go back to this image, we see that the rooms actually make up a very, very small fraction of the space in the house, and the rest of it is very, very open. And if you think about your house or your apartment or any building that you probably go into, there's not this much open space. It's quite unique that this much space, especially the entire space of the courtyard within, is not being utilized as a sleeping room or a kitchen. there's a lot of, open space. So here is a diagram of the interior open space. And again, to emphasize the way that the programmed spaces are sitting in the back of the U, and the open space is in there. And yeah, here's a diagram showing just all of the open U space, all the open space within the U house. So again, those are by no means the only ways of analyzing it, but those are just some diagrams that you could use yourself, or you could work from, or you could use to jump off from. So I want you to produce 2 of these 11.5 by 17 drafts. Probably 3 or 4 would be good. Again, it doesn't take long, and bring them on Tuesday. So quick things about transformation to form, and I think we will hold off until maybe Thursday when we get closer to go through that. But I want you to also think of this as a formal exercise. Form as in look at the form, not as like being a fancy formal. So we'll stop there, and I'll go ahead and post this up there, and feel free to email me if you have any questions about what's due on Tuesday. All right, talk to you later.